Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Will's ring on bowed knees for Electra is stormed out on by Carter. Ivy Forrester and Carter Walton put a lot of effort into trying to convince Steffy Forrester to embrace the resurrected jewelry brand, but she was hesitant, according to the Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Wednesday, October 23rd. When Steffy finally ordered Electra Forrester to leave the room, she had an opportunity to confront Ivy about her offensive behavior. Ivy gave the impression that Steffy was allowing their past to interfere, but Steffy maintained that was not the case. However, Carter said that since Steffy had a tendency to let her emotions get in the way of doing business, Ivy had a right to doubt her position. Finally, Ivy and Electra put up a jewelry display in the salon, but Steffy wouldn't even look at anything. Steffy claimed she had other things to accomplish after announcing that her choice was made. After Ivy left, Carter stood there and gave Steffy a fierce look before leaving. Ivy and Electra understood Carter was doing his hardest as he apologized to them. Ivy advised them to tidy up the display they had put up before leaving for the salon. Will Spencer was informed by Hope Logan in the design office that he might be a target since he was a Logan. Will wasn't concerned when Hope said that he would need to put in twice as much effort to win Steffy over. Nevertheless, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, believed that since there was a Forrester-Logan rivalry at the corporation, Will needed to take Hope's advice. Later, Electra dropped a jewelry tray after Will ran into her in the hallway. When their eyes met for the first time, an apologetic Will was on his knees, offering Electra a ring as he fumbled to gather things up. Will and Electra both became agitated, but they ultimately smiled and introduced themselves. Will found it cool when Electra sent him with updates on the jewelry line pitch. As their bond grew stronger, Will also placed the dropped ring on Electra's finger. Brooke could tell Steffy was preoccupied when she discovered her in the CEO's office. Brooke assumed this was about Carter's support for Hope and her line because Steffy acknowledged that Carter had been a bit off target and, to be honest, completely incorrect lately. On Wednesday's B&B episode, Carter returned and slammed into the design office, complaining to Hope about Steffy closing the jewelry line that had been relaunched. Carter intended to put an end to these small-minded personal agendas that had no place at Forrester Creations, and Steffy denied it without even looking at it. Carter said that was only the beginning of his concept, but Hope thought it was a great idea to bring Ivy back to relaunch the jewelry business. Carter got Hope excited about how successful Forrester could be and wanted to put a lot of brands under the luxury banner. With or without Steffy, Hope urged Carter to run with this. Hope pushed Carter to get Ridge Forrester and Eric Forrester, played by John McCook, on board when she pressed him to organize a meeting. Hope claimed that this was how Carter would make his imprint on the business and the industry at large since she could hear the passion in his voice. They exchanged a charming smile when Hope told Carter how much she trusted in him and the future he was imagining. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Carter's bold proposal will soon make Steffy even more enraged. Keep an eye out for all the terrible news that lies ahead. At Forrester, tempers flare and sparks fly. Steffy told Ivy and Electra in the CEO's office that she hoped they weren't in Los Angeles simply for that meeting. Steffy wrote that she was still in awe of Electra's growth since their last encounter. Carter interrupted to tell Steffy that successful businesses also expand. Although Steffy was pleased to see Forresters and appreciated the pitch, she didn't believe they could revive the jewelry line. Ivy and Carter attempted to make their case once more. Cease thinking so narrowly. We must grow and establish our brand. For me, that goes without saying, and it ought to for you as well, Carter stated. Steffy requested Electra to leave the office after apologizing. Electra's departure caused Steffy's tone to shift. Steffy expressed her dissatisfaction with her co-CEO skills to Ivy and Carter. I don't let my feelings influence my business choices. That's offensive to me, Steffy stated firmly. Carter reprimanded Steffy, stating that Ivy had the right to challenge Steffy's logic even though she wasn't there to offend her. Carter reminded Steffy to keep her personal sentiments out of her business in front of Ivy. Carter went on to say, "You did it with Hope, and you're doing it with Ivy." Steffy maintained that nothing was related to her personal feelings. "My choice is final," she said. Ivy left after Steffi stated she had other things to do. Carter trailed after, pausing a few times to sneer and look down at Steffi. Admire B&B, Days, General Hospital, or other soap operas? Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right now, click this link. Will was a pleasure to have in the office, and Hope and Brooke laughed when they assigned him a task involving a model. Brooke commented that it was pleasant to have Will's happy smile about them after the model departed. It was nice to have another Logan on their side, Hope reaffirmed. She informed Will that he would need to put in twice as much effort than anyone else to win Steffi over as a Logan. Brooke concurred that the Forresters and the Logans were the two parties involved. Will questioned whether Steffi really was as serious as they said. Hope expressed dissatisfaction with Steffi's inconsistent claims to put their conflicts behind them. She claimed to be getting ready for Steffi to cut HFTF. Brooke reminded Hope that she had Carter on her side and reassured her that Steffi couldn't defend cutting Hope's connection. According to Brooke, HFTF would overcome its current slowdown. Will found it admirable that the COO was supporting Hope. Carter joined Ivy and Electra in the hallway. Ivy informed Electra that her and Steffi's animosity stems from their shared love for Liam. When Electra brought up the fact that Steffi was married to someone else, Carter dismissed it as old news. Carter yelled at Steffi to get rid of the personal belongings. He promised Ivy and Electra that he would expand the business, and they were part of his plan. When Brooke entered the CEO's office, she attempted to discuss Brooke's bedroom with Steffi, but she was preoccupied. In case it had anything to do with her job, Brooke insisted on knowing what she was thinking about. The executive team includes me. I should know if anything has to do with Forrester, Brooke remarked. Steffi gave in and admitted to Brooke that while she had always appreciated Carter's economic sense, he had recently been a bit off base and occasionally outright incorrect. Brooke patronized Steffi, saying that the only reason she was angry was because Carter stood up for Hope and her line. Although Steffi acknowledged that she wasn't happy with his excessive arguments, she pointed out that Carter wasn't just interested in that line. Carter wants to relaunch the jewelry line with Ivy, Steffi revealed. Steffi remarked, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm really beginning to question Carter's judgment as COO. Carter stormed into the designer's office across the hall and slammed the door. He was furious with Hope about Steffi's determination to keep the business stagnant. He described how Hope believed his jewelry line pitch to Ivy was a great idea. Steffi vetoed it before even looking at it, according to Carter, because of personal grudge with Ivy. According to Carter, the small-scale personal assaults at Forrester must end. Carter questioned whether he was alone in seeing the company's potential for expansion. Carter shook his head when Hope implied that Steffi knew something he didn't. Although Steffi said it wasn't personal, he claimed it was clear to him that rivalries are influencing Steffi's choices. Thank you. My aunt and I are the only ones who see it, at last. Hope. Carter claimed to have years of research experience and to know how to advance the business. Carter revealed his desire for Forrester to possess numerous brands and combine them under a single, opulent canopy. He clarified that they may add underappreciated businesses that produce goods like spirits and fragrances to the house of Forrester. Hope assured Carter that he was the best person to take the lead. Carter pouted that Steffi would simply block him and reiterated that she was blinded by her emotions. Hope suggested that he meet with Ridge and Eric to gain their support, whether Steffi was present or not. She informed Carter that she could tell he was going to leave this mark on their company and on the industry as a whole because of the excitement and passion in his voice. Hope took hold of his shoulders and gave him a serious look. This is your legacy. I see it. Carter, the future you're imagining is real. All you have to do is accept it. I have faith in you, Hope assured him. Will and Electra were moving swiftly down the hallway without paying attention to their destination. Everything they were holding flew when they collided. Will knelt down and apologized as he hurriedly attempted to clean everything up. He claimed to have heard and searched for something roll off. When Will held up a ring and inquired as to whether it belonged to her, Electra turned around. They wanted to work on a line at Forrester, she explained, and her aunt had designed it. They introduced themselves, and Will got up. They were staring into each other's eyes as Will put the ring on her finger. In the glamorous, fast-paced world of Forrester creations, relationships can change as quickly as the designs coming off the runway. Recently, the dynamics between Ivy, Electra, and Will have taken a dramatic turn, creating a web of heartbreak, unspoken desires, and life-altering decisions. What seemed like a potential romance for Ivy has transformed into a complicated situation as Will's unexpected proposal to Electra stuns everyone, and Electra's secret feelings for someone else threaten to unravel the relationships that had been forming. The situation between these three characters has created an emotional roller coaster that has everyone questioning where their true loyalties and desires lie. #### Ivy's rejection, heartbreak in the spotlight. Ivy Forrester, a confident, accomplished woman, has long been a beloved figure at Forrester Creations. She's been through her share of love and loss, but her recent romantic hopes have taken a devastating hit. After investing her heart into what seemed to be a promising connection with Will, Ivy finds herself blindsided by rejection. It's not just that Will has moved on, it's the abrupt nature of his decision and the way he's chosen to declare his commitment to someone else. Will, who had been quietly growing close to Ivy, seemed to have the makings of a genuine relationship with her. The two shared professional interests, a mutual respect for each other, and a certain ease that made their interactions comfortable and natural. Ivy, always cautious with her heart after past disappointments, slowly began to trust that this could be something real. But just as she began to let her guard down, Will shocked her by proposing to Electra, a rising star in the fashion world and a new force at Forrester. The public nature of Ivy's rejection, particularly in the high-stakes world of the Forrester empire, makes it all the more painful. She's not just losing a potential love interest, she's losing face in a very public way. The rejection has left her reeling, but Ivy, ever resilient, is determined to maintain her composure. Still, it's clear that this latest heartbreak cuts deeply, as she grapples with the realization that her romantic hopes have been dashed once again. ### Electra's secret crush, hidden desires threaten to surface. As if Ivy's rejection wasn't complicated enough, Electra is dealing with her own inner turmoil. Though she accepts Will's proposal, Electra harbors a secret that could blow everything apart. She's been developing feelings for someone else, and those feelings have only grown stronger with time. Electra's crush isn't just a passing fancy, it's a deep, emotional connection that has been building beneath the surface, leaving her torn between her loyalty to Will and her unspoken desires. Electra's rise at Forrester Creations has been meteoric. She's young, ambitious, and undeniably talented, quickly becoming a key player in the company's success. But while her professional star has been on the rise, her personal life has become increasingly complicated. Will's affection for her has been genuine, and on the surface, he seems like the perfect partner, kind, supportive, and devoted. Yet, despite his loving gestures and recent proposal, Electra can't shake the feelings she has for someone else. The tension between Electra's hidden feelings and her engagement to Will creates a ticking time bomb. She's caught in an emotional tug-of-war, unsure of whether to follow her heart or stick to the commitment she's made. As the pressure mounts, it's only a matter of time before Electra's true feelings come to light, and when they do, they could spell disaster for her burgeoning romance with Will. ### Will's ring, a bold proposal with consequences. Will's proposal to Electra wasn't just unexpected, it was bold, dramatic, and filled with emotion. In the high-pressure world of fashion and corporate intrigue, making such a significant gesture takes guts, and Will's decision to propose was driven by a genuine belief that Electra was the woman he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. From Will's perspective, this was the logical next step in a relationship that had brought him happiness and stability, something he's been yearning for after years of uncertainty. However, Will's decision to propose without fully understanding Electra's emotional state reveals the cracks in their relationship. While he believes he's offering her a future filled with love and commitment, he's unaware that Electra is struggling with her feelings for someone else. Will's ring symbolizes his hopes and dreams for a life with Electra, but it also raises questions about whether Electra can fully reciprocate those feelings. For Ivy, the sight of Will slipping a ring onto Electra's finger is a crushing blow. It's a public affirmation of his choice, a clear signal that he's moved on from whatever connection he and Ivy once shared. As Will's proposal becomes the talk of Forrester, Ivy is forced to confront her own emotions and decide how she'll move forward in the wake of such a devastating rejection. #The fallout. What's next for Ivy, Electra, and Will? The repercussions of Will's proposal, Ivy's rejection, and Electra's hidden feelings are bound to ripple through the Forrester family and their business. Ivy, ever the professional, may try to maintain her dignity, but the sting of Will's rejection is likely to impact her interactions with both him and Electra moving forward. As she processes the end of yet another potential relationship, Ivy will have to decide whether to confront Will about his sudden shift in affections or to let it go and focus on herself. Electra, meanwhile, finds herself in an increasingly precarious situation. Will's proposal is a clear signal that he's all in, but her heart isn't fully committed. Her secret crush lingers in the background, threatening to derail her engagement and complicate her future at Forrester. Electra must decide whether to come clean about her feelings or continue hiding them in the hopes that they'll fade over time. However, in the high-stakes world of Forrester, secrets have a way of coming to the surface, and Electra's emotional conflict could lead to explosive consequences. For Will, the proposal was meant to secure a future with Electra, but he may soon realize that the woman he's asked to marry isn't being completely honest with him. His unwavering devotion to Electra could be tested if he senses that something is amiss. As Will navigates this new chapter of his life, he may find himself blindsided by Electra's indecision, forcing him to reevaluate whether their relationship is built on solid ground or if it's destined to crumble under the weight of unspoken truths. The unpredictable road ahead. As the dust settles from Will's proposal, Ivy's rejection, and Electra's inner turmoil, one thing is clear: the road ahead is anything but smooth. The dynamics between these three characters are shifting rapidly, and the emotional fallout from their intertwined relationships will have lasting repercussions. Ivy, Electra, and Will are all at a crossroads, each facing difficult decisions that will shape their futures. For Ivy, the challenge will be in moving forward with grace and resilience, even as she processes the pain of rejection. Electra must confront her true feelings and decide whether to pursue the life Will is offering or to follow her heart in a different direction. And Will, for all his good intentions, may soon discover that the woman he loves is hiding something from him that could change everything.